Thanks for joining us. We are in the middle of a brief break from the winds. We're looking right over our building here on Spear. You don't see those flags moving much. However, they are expected to kick back up today. So joining me now is Keely Chalmers with our 9 News Weather Impact Team. Keely, so how widespread will these gusts be today, and when will they begin?
Well, the strongest winds certainly up in the high country above about 9,000 feet. Once again, breezy conditions down here at the lower elevations this evening and tomorrow as well. But again, we have another high wind warning for the mountains. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. A little bit of a breeze out as we take a live look out over Akron. Pretty easygoing traffic up in the mountains right now. Got about 1 to 3 inches in Summit County yesterday into this morning, but not impacting traffic at all. We've got, again, really just winds. That's what we're dealing with when it comes to the weather today. And you can see high wind warning in effect for this area shaded in purple. So this is the Northern Front Range Mountains, the foothills, those normal wind-prone areas. Does not include the I-25 corridor. Last through 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, we are still expecting those winds 70 to 80 miles per hour. So we peaked at about 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts up in certain areas yesterday, and we're likely going to see that again tonight into tomorrow morning. Live radar quiet. We did have some light to moderate snow falling up in the northern mountains earlier today. That has pushed off, so a little bit of light snow. Not a lot, but anything does certainly help and is appreciated. Satellite radar saying that northwesterly flow, certainly moisture still up in the northwest, but again, that moisture has moved out of the Colorado and the mountains where we did see some light snow earlier. Current temperatures right around 50 degrees here in the metro area. So temperatures warming up. We are on our way to highs in the 50s, 57 degrees. And we'll talk more about your extended forecast and a dry, warm trend coming up in your complete forecast in just a bit.
Keely, thank you. A man is expected to survive after being shot by an officer in Severance last night. Police say the man was armed with multiple weapons. Officers were called about 9 last night for a domestic incident at a home on Mount Princeton Drive in Severance. They report finding a 33-year-old man in a car outside the home, armed with several weapons. Police say an officer fired one shot, hitting the man. However, they did not say what led the officer to shoot. A woman found shot outside an Aurora shopping center has died from her injuries. She was found just after 6 last night in a parking lot at Havana in Mississippi. Investigators do not know what led up to the shooting and have not made any arrests. If you know anything, call Metro Denver Crime Stoppers. New at noon, Loveland police say they arrested a man accused of breaking into a tanning salon and attacking people with a hammer. This happened last night at Endless Summer Tanning on Madison Avenue. Police say the suspect, identified as Kyle Behrens, went into the business and attacked an employee with a hammer, hitting her multiple times. Investigators say he also tried to attack a customer inside with a knife. Behrens is now facing several charges, including first-degree attempted homicide. The 2 victims attacked were taken to the hospital and are recovering. We'll have more on this story throughout the day. This afternoon, a man accused of killing his ex-girlfriend in Westminster is expected in court to hear the charges against him. Police found the body of a 37-year-old, Annette Valdez, inside a trash can near Willowbrook Park last week. Officers arrested her former boyfriend, Thomas Perales, for second-degree murder and abuse of a corpse. Court documents say Perales admitted to restraining Valdez during an argument and later panicked when he found her unresponsive. Records show police were called to Valdez's apartment dozens of times in the past 2 years for domestic violence-related incidents, and Perales has been released from jail just 1 week before Annette disappeared.
We've tried so much to get her away from him, and every single time she went right back to him. All she could say is, that's my kid's father.
Right now they're completely heartbroken that their mom is gone, and it's about to be Christmas. We don't even know what to say to them right now.
Wow. The family is planning a vigil for Valdez this weekend as they work together to take care of the 3 daughters. A person is recovering from injuries they got in a fire at an apartment complex in Westminster yesterday afternoon. A viewer sent in this video showing the aftermath of the scene near 80th Avenue and Wolf Street. Westminster Fire says the person taken to the hospital lived there, but the extent of the injuries have not been released. There's also no word on what caused that fire. State legislators are raising questions about an abrupt change in leadership at Colorado Parks and Wildlife. Jeff Davis had run the agency since May of 2023. He was the guy in charge of the voter-approved program to reintroduce gray wolves to the state. Last month, the Department of Natural Resources, which oversees CPW, announced Davis would step down and move into a policy advisor role at DNR. They also announced retired Army Major General Laura Cleland was named acting director of CPW. Documents obtained by 9 News Investigate show that Davis resigned rather than be fired. We still don't know why he would have been fired. This week, state lawmakers questioned the sudden change.
I understand that the executive director can hire an interim director, but I'd like to know why they didn't consult with or have a discussion with regard to the dismissal of the former director, Mr. Davis.
I'd like to know if the department plans to hire, to use the same process that it's used in the past in consulting with the commission.
We requested interviews with both Jeff Davis and his successor, Laura Cleland, but were denied. Cleland's employment agreement does not specify how long she could serve as the head of CPW. This afternoon, a Denver City Council committee is scheduled to once again talk about plans for the new women's soccer team stadium. The team has its eye on empty land near I-25 and Broadway. Last month, the committee discussed using city funds for infrastructure improvements to the land, but then tabled it. Members cited a lack of specifics and a distrust in Mayor Johnston for what they view as unnecessary secrecy. After that delay, the team owner said they're considering putting the stadium outside city limits, which Mayor Johnston does not want to happen. We will have details from the 1:30 meeting later today.